4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. The stories today, the military says 2 of the 18 people presented by lawyer Levito Baligod as alleged bagmen were never members of the Navy or the Philippine Marine Corps. The Philippine Navy also confirmed that most of those in a media conference yesterday at Club Filipino got dishonorable discharges. Only a few of the attendees in the press con retired in good standing. The 18 alleged military officers or personnel claim to have delivered 805 billion pesos to politicians, including President Bongbong Marcos. Baligod also claimed that ICC investigators and former Senator Sonny Trillanes benefited from the alleged kickbacks. Yesterday, here on StoryCon, Trillanes called the allegation a move to discredit the ICC as the confirmation of charges hearing got underway in The Hague. He also vowed to file cyber libel complaints against Baligod, former Congressman Mike Defensor, broadcaster Jay Sonza, and the 18 alleged bagmen for publicly airing the claims. Manila Congressman Benny Abante also denied accepting suitcases of cash. He says the accusations are politically motivated and linked to his stance on seeking justice for victims of extrajudicial killings. ML Party List Congresswoman Laila de Lima likewise denied the claim, calling the allegation a clear demolition job and a concoction of lies. Here are the reactions of others who were tagged by Baligod to the alleged kickbacks.
I don't think they deserve a decent answer from me. A response, unassigned nga eh, di ba? It's all BS. I mean, it's all BS. Ang hirap kasi mag-argue sa isang kasinungalingan.
Nilulutawag sa mga ganyan. So, hindi natin masyado binibigyan ng pansin dahil wala naman pong katotohanan doon. So, yun lang po. Huwag tayong dilulu.
Allow me please to reserve my comments regarding that matter kasi hindi nga natin alam kung yan ay kaya nilang isubstantiate. It's really non-issue right now for me because hindi naman akong bida dyan.
Today, of course, marks 40 years since the EDSA People Power Revolution. Commemorative events and protests are taking place across the Philippines as we speak. Coincidentally, the 3rd trillion peso march against corruption is also being held today, and that's happening at the People Power Monument with full access to the entire stretch of White Plains Avenue. The main EDSA 40 gathering at the EDSA Shrine began with Holy Mass and a short program. Masses and marches were also held in other parts of the country, including at the Bacolod City proper and Cebu City's Colon Street. The activities are expected to continue until this evening.
And here are the other stories we're watching this Wednesday, February 25. Former President Duterte has requested the International Criminal Court to waive his attendance at his detention hearing scheduled for Friday, February 27. The former president says he does not wish to follow the hearing from outside the courtroom through communications technology and will instead let the defense team represent him. The ICC pretrial chamber earlier allowed Duterte to miss the confirmation of charges hearings but denied his request for interim release.
Civil society group Wag Kang Ku Corrupt filed a complaint with the Senate Ethics Committee against Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa earlier today. That's for being absent from official duties for nearly 3 months now. Former Finance Undersecretary Professor Sheila Magno, one of the complainants, called the absences a violation of senatorial duties and urged sanctions, including suspension of pay.
And joining us today, wala si Tito Ronald, siguro nandun sa EDSA. Although, hindi ko ma-imagine na nagsisimba siya.
Alam na natin what he's doing. And from the Philippine Star, we've got, of course, Editor-in-Chief Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi, Reg and everybody.
Hi, Ami.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Ano, marami kayong istorya?
Inaabangan natin yung tuloy-tuloy pa yung EDSA eh. Pero okay na rin yung mga nasabi na, no? Yung mga statements na we need an electoral revolution.
Oh, I've been hearing that for the past 40 years.
Si Ed, maraming masasabi about it, about the fact that 40 years later, the system is the same, the people are the same. Ano pa, Ed?
Wag na, sabi nyo, nag-rant lang ako eh.
Hoy, Oh, ikaw, nasa picture ka nung EDSA, ha?
Oo, nandun siya.
Picture lang, libo-libo naman yung ano, yung
Ikaw yung
wala sa
nandun
picture.
nakuna na nasa harap, eh.
Wala eh. Alam mo naman ako, meron ako na milig pumunta eh. Well, anyway, but what are your big stories aside from EDSA? What about ano?
Yan lang, yung kay former President Duterte. We're expecting naman na hindi siya pa-attend kasi preliminary investigation nga
Of
yan.
course.
Kung bibigyan naman yan.
Oo.
Hindi pa naman yan trial, eh.
Oo. And of
So,
course,
I think we
kung
will
wala
not
siya sa
see him on
confirmation of
Friday,
charges.
ano?
And of course, kung wala siya sa confirmation of charges hearing, we don't expect him
Yeah.
to appear at all during his detention.
Tsaka talaga hindi raw siya nanood. I was asking the reporter there yesterday. Ay, si Angela. Kasi she was able to talk to Nicholas Kaufman, the lawyer of Duterte. And Nicholas Kaufman daw was saying na after he talked to Duterte daw said that he is extremely happy with the performance of the defense. Sabi ko, did Duterte get to watch even online, even if online yung nangyari? Hindi raw.
Well, alanganin naman sabihin niya, he was disappointed. I didn't make a stronger case, di ba? So there's only one way to answer that question, which is,
Oh, you can be happy, but extremely happy is
oo nga, no. There's the
It's
word,
extremely
there's a qualifier,
happy.
extremely there.
Parang,
That's true.
Kulang lang ecstatic for somebody who was not able to watch.
You're
ano.
essentially asking him to judge his performance at the confirmation of charges hearing. So of course he's gonna say, yes, my
Mas
client
magiging
is extremely happy
siya
with what
sa
I
ano.
did.
Kasi maganda
Diba?
feedback eh. Anami.
Sa
Sa
bagay
Friday,
sila,
mas extremely happy siya. Yun yung defense, eh.
sa bagay sila,
Diba?
Attorney
Sa
Sal,
Friday, defense yun.
sila Attorney Sal Panelo din daw said, yes, we're very happy
Yeah, they're all
with his
extremely
performance.
happy.
Yeah, I guess they're all very happy.
Yeah. I suppose it depends on which side of the fence you belong to. Some are extremely happy with the prosecution.
Yes.
Some are extremely happy with the defense.
Just tell you just how polarized
Ang mundo
we
talaga
are.
natin, di ba?
Oo. It's like, ito ba yung sinasabi mo? Like 40 years after EDSA, we're still here. We're still extremely,
The difference being we're freer to make the same mistakes that we've been making all this time.
Oo nga, ano ba yun? No? That's the classic definition of insanity, no? Doing the same
Diba?
thing over and over again.
Sakat talaga
this
magsalita ni
time-
Ami.
But this time we have the
Different
freedom to
results.
make the mistakes on our own.
Sakat talaga magsalita si Ami. Always going straight to the point. But you're right. Okay, we are freer, but we're making the same
Yeah.
mistakes is the point. Hindi ba?
Yeah.
At least you're free to do it.
At least I'm free to do
You're
it.
not forced to make the same mistakes.
I don't know which world I'd rather live in, to be honest.
Di ba dapat we should be learning from our mistakes? Sa dami niyang mistake natin, dapat nakabaledictoria na tayo, no?
I was in Saints Co yesterday for the EDSA anniversary, blah blah blah. I was telling them, EDSA 1 was okay. EDSA 1 was a big thing for our generation. But when we had EDSA 2, kasi I was also in EDSA 2, but I was covering na. I was in Malacanang.
Marami din tao doon sa EDSA 2.
Oh, I was in Malacanang when Erap was forced to flee. We watched him. I even have pictures eh.
Sige nga, Ed. Kailan yung EDSA 2?
EDSA 2,
Kailan ka
January.
nag-commemorate ng EDSA 2? Sige nga.
It was January 6 ata yung last day, if I remember right. Basta it was January.
Anong January 6? Epiphany yun. Ano ka ba?
Nalimutan ko.
Vikings yun.
January 6. That's also the date of the Capitol attack in the U.S. Ba yung-
Anong January
what is
6? Tingnan mo, tingnan mo.
January 6?
Ganyan ka ano yung yung second people power. Nobody remembers.
That was also
People would rather forget, actually.
and that was also so controversial kasi several years down the line, si Cory Aquino would apologize to the public for taking part in the ouster of Erap.
Oh, yan na nga.
Di ba? Remember that, Ami? And she got a lot of flack for that na parang, you don't speak for us.
Kaya nga.
Because kahit pa paano daw Erap had
And
to
does
go.
anyone even remember EDSA 3? Meron tayong
Iba naman
EDSA
yun.
3.
Well,
Ako,
I mean,
I remember
meron-
that distinctly kasi nasa Mendiola ako noon.
Oh, nabato ka rin nun. Nabato ka.
Oo, ang saya-saya nun eh.
I mean, I don't even know if some people are still disputing whether or not there was an EDSA 3 to begin with, di ba? I
I'm
mean,
sorry, I mean, EDSA
nakailan
2
na
was
ba to?
January 17 to 20.
17 to 20.
Ayan na. Ayan. Ako sigurado ako hindi January 6 yun.
Okay. Ano pala? Capital ano pala?
Capital, ito pala sa US.
But I was saying, I was there in EDSA DOS dun sa Malacanang, and we escorted, you might say, escorted ERAP to the boat to flee Malacanang.
Kasama sila sila Angelo
Angles.
Angelo Reyes.
After he stepped onto the boat and left, that's when it struck me na parang, why do we have to have a second EDSA? Wasn't one enough?
Is what he said.
No, me. I was telling myself parang,
Ano sabi niya?
no, I was telling myself. Na parang, doesn't this signal that there's something wrong in how we do things, that we have to have a second EDSA?
Remember, ang pinanggalingan niya, yung impeachment trial,
Yeah.
na ayaw pabuksan yung
The
yung
envelope.
second envelope.
The
The
second
second envelope.
Na it turns out, wala
That
palang
was
laman
from
talaga.
an impeachment trial.
Na it turns out, wala palang malaking laman.
Speaking of impeachment,
Na wala palang laman, no?
I remember that.
I have it from a Congress insider that they are going to be, it should be today actually, they're going to be trying to, they're going
today?
to start to meet today
Okay.
to tackle the impeachment. Because I
The
think
Justice Committee?
the idea was Monday, right?
Yeah.
March
I
2,
thought it was
March
Monday.
2.
They have until Monday to refer it. So I heard from a
March 2
Congress
daw.
insider today.
But di ba it's referred na?
Ay, sorry, na-refer na, correct. But they
Monday
have
they were
to
supposed to
Na-refer
begin
na sa
deliberating
Justice
on
Committee.
Correct. So
sufficiency of
ayusin na
form and
yung ano.
substance.
Ayusin na yung
March 2
schedule.
pa, March 2. Hindi sila
might be today?
makikipagsabayan dito sa EDSA.
Yes, because apparently Congress has session today. I thought also that they might take the day off, pero apparently they have session
It's
today.
ewan ko, pinapa-explain ko nga kay Ed kung ano yung special working,
Hindi ko rin alam.
special working holiday ba yan? What does it,
Special-
what kind of
Tingin mo ba
creature is
nakaka-relate ako
that?
sa
Ano ba yun?
holiday?
Special.
Ikaw ba amin nakaka-relate ka sa
Ako
holiday?
nakaka-relate ako. Sometimes I'm absent because I have to do my
Yung mga
my
private
classes.
schools walang pasok. Maraming private schools walang pasok. But it's, ewan ko kung anong klaseng, what kind of creature is that? Kasi kapag hindi ka daw pumasok, no work, no pay.
So what
Pag
is it?
pumasok ka, wala kang overtime pay. I'm not sure about that.
So is it a holiday or not?
Hindi ko nga alam eh.
Never mind. Let's just carry on.
Okay, let's bring in our first guest for this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have with us-
we're pivoting now. We're talking to Attorney Levy Baligod.
Levito Baligod, Attorney Levito Baligod. Magandang hapon, sir, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Storycon.
Hi, attorney.
Sir, nakamute
Nakamute
po
po
ata kayo.
kayo.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Ayun. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Sir,
Thank you po.
yeah, yes, sir. Napanood ko yung press con nyo kahapon. Quite interesting. But I also I saw an affidavit online, a joint affidavit supposedly made by the 18 former military men. I think I saw it dun sa Paulo Duterte supporters website eh. Is this the same thing that you have? Kasi yun ang detalyado eh.
It is also a puzzle for me, sir, no? How a supposed unsigned affidavit came out in public. It did not come from me. I
Okay.
clearly stated during the press conference that I will share only the affidavit of the 18 former soldiers
After
I have filed the proper complaint or referral to the Office of the Ombudsman.
I remember that, sir. In fact, that's why I got surprised eh. But have you been able to peruse this one that came out online? Kasi it had so many details that we wanted to ask you about eh. Nakita niyo ba itong lumabas online? Is it the same one that you were talking about?
Sorry, but I did not bother to compare what was told to me as an affidavit that appeared online with the affidavit in my possession. Hindi ko po kinompare.
Okay. Well, okay, we don't know if it's the same affidavit, that's fine. But the military has discredited some of the details of your claims already. They said 2 of these 18 individuals were never members of the Navy nor Marine Corps. And in fact, most of those got dishonorable discharges. Could you respond to that?
In their affidavit, the 18 never claimed that all of them belong to the Marine Corps. 2 of them, in fact, in the affidavit, in my possession, claimed that they were former Army, no? Or they belong to the Philippine Army, not with the Philippine Marine Corps. And it is true that in my knowledge, there is one former Marine who was dishonorably discharged because he was, when he served in the United Nations peacekeeping force as member of the Philippine contingent, he was asked by his officer to bring some food to the officer's quarters. And he obeyed the instruction of his officer. And then meron kasing military checkpoint, and his vehicle was inspected and found some food inside, and he was arrested and brought back to the Philippines. And during the investigation of the complaint against him, the initial recommendation was for a demotion. But eventually, the Armed Forces of the Philippines
Okay, yeah.
came out with a decision to dishonorably discharge him.
Yeah, okay. I'm not really that interested in the specific details of how he was dishonorably discharged. Suffice to
But that was your question, ma'am. I'm just
suffice to
responding.
say that he was dishonorably discharged, and what you're saying at this point is there's just one, because the
Navy says it was
the
most.
Navy says it was most of them that were dishonorably discharged.
I don't think so. Maybe we can reconcile our record, no? I will ask the soldiers to confirm with me later on whether they were discharged or not. But the fact remains that they were members of the Philippine Marine Corps before, regardless of the nature or character of their separation from service. We cannot erase the fact or ignore the fact that they were former members of the Philippine Marine Corps.
Well, sir, we
Pero
understand naman, sir.
attorney, paano kayong ano? How did you come about these people? 18 yan eh. Paano kayong nag-meet? Did you approach them? Did they approach you? Meron kayong go-between? Paano po kayong nagkaroon ng ganyang affidavit? At saka, paano kayong lumabas ngayon in a press conference?
Ang predicate po nito ay napanood naman natin lahat. We were all able to watch the statement of Master Sergeant Orly Gutesa. We know how he was treated by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, and I was curious why. And therefore, I was able to ask a friend with the Armed Forces of the Philippines to make way for me to meet at least 1 or 2 former workmates, no? Or yung katrabaho ni Mr. Orly Gutesa with Saldico. October pa po yun. And from there on, I was able to speak with more than about 30 of former security details of Saldico. And eventually, we all agreed that they have to come out with what they know with respect to the apparent theft of public funds going to several public officials.
Bakit niyo po nag-decide na mag-press con imbis na pwede niyo namang lapitan yung mga senators, for example, para ma-imbestigahan yung mga statement na sinasabi niyo, kasi there's a lot of doubt and a lot of, actually ngayon, tuloy-tuloy yung mga denial ng kung sino-sinong binanggit ninyo. May balak ba kayong pumunta pa sa Senate or House, for example?
Alam niyo po, personally, na-observe ko naman ang ating executive, ang ating legislative, at napakahirap pong umasa, no, sa mga institution na ito. Kaya po, minarapat ko na, as I said, I tend to cling on to whatever flicker of hope we have with these institutions. Kaya sinabi ko, magsusumite tayo sa ombudsman. Minarapat namin na ibahagi na kaagad ito sa taong bayan. Dahil hindi naman namin inaasahan na interesado ang Senado dito sa aming sasabihin. Hindi rin namin inaasahan na magkakaroon ng fair investigation sa House of Representatives kasi karamihan sa mga leaders ng House of Representatives ay binanggit nga ng mga ito.
Sir, I understand what you were saying na ibang bagay ang nature at ang character ng service ng mga military personnel. But on the other hand, wouldn't it also affect their credibility as witnesses if most of them, as claimed, but this is the claim of the Navy, if most of them were dishonorably discharged, wouldn't that affect their credibility? Di ba, in courtrooms, isn't that also what lawyers look at and the judges look at when they listen to testimony? Kung ano yung background at ano yung kredibilidad ng mga testigo?
Oh, that is too early for me to comment on that about credibility. Pero nakita nyo naman po, ang daming taga-media, ang daming taga-kongreso, ang daming taga-senado, naniniwala nga sila sa testimony ng mga convicts, no? Nasa kulungan na, pero pinapaniwalaan ang kanilang sinasabi.
Yes,
Wait,
sir.
teka lang that is the wrong assumption, attorney, because just because you were jailed does not mean there's a confirmation of wrongdoing there. We all know that testimonies can be fabricated, can be coerced, right? You as a lawyer should know that. But anyways, the reason I don't think it's too early to ask about the credibility because the claims that you're making are serious and wide-ranging. So balik tayo dun sa question ni Ami, which is, how long have you known these 18 gentlemen and can you vouch for their credibility?
Yes, I started meeting them in October. I vetted what they said, and that is why it took me about 3 months before I finalized their affidavit because I had to verify their statements with their other co-workers who did not come out as of this time.
Attorney, nabanggit niyo si Orly Gutesa. Would you know kung nasa na siya ngayon? Kasi kahit sabihin na nag-retract siya, wala tayong formal retraction whether orally or in writing
Of course po, base lang ito sa mga kwento na ang source ko ay galing din sa pamilya ni Mr. Orly Gutesa.
Yes.
Na pinapirma siya na nagsasabi na pinilit lamang siya ni Senator Marcoleta at saka ni dating Secretary Mike Defensor para gawin yung kanyang statement sa Senado. At kung
Sino daw po ang nagpilit?
Ano po?
Sino daw po ang nagpilit sa kanya?
Meron silang binanggit na isang abogado, wag ko na lang pong sabihin dahil parehong abogado ito ang nagpipilit sa ilan din sa mga dating sundalo na pumirma ng affidavit na inalabas namin kahapon. The same na lawyer na nagpipilit na pirmahan nila yung draft na affidavit na ginawa, no? Pero yung tanong po na kung nasaan si Orly Gutesa ay magkasalungat po yung na ibigay na impormasyon sa akin. Yung isa nagsasabi nasa ibang bansa na siya ngayon. At yung pangalawa naman ay sinasabi na nandito lang sa Pilipinas at pinakawalan na raw nila. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung nila.
Sir, yesterday there was also an assertion on the part of the affidavit signed by these gentlemen and also from your end to the effect that $2 million were turned over to Senator Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators in the country. I'd like to ask if that money was supposed to be for operations of the ICC supposedly in the Philippines, or if they mean to imply that it was supposed to be some sort of a bribe. Kasi he also mentioned yesterday that it was that the ICC is guilty of graft and corruption for accepting the money.
First po, I want to correct your predicate. There is nothing in the affidavit, and also I did not say anything that the $2 million went to the ICC.
No, sir. I said what I said was it was turned over to Trillanes supposedly for
There was an implication,
the
attorney.
use of
Even
the
that.
ICC investigators.
Even with the $2 million turned over to Trillanes, nothing in their affidavit, and I did not say that during the press conference.
But sir, I remember specifically you said you actually accused the ICC investigators of graft and corruption because of that money.
No,
Yes, sir.
That's not the-
We can review the. Sir,
Yes, yes.
It's,
We can
your live
review
is,
the,
your live
yes,
is still on Facebook.
Yes, Sir Ed Lingao, you can go over the press con and you will be cleared na ang sinabi ko, may mga ibinigay kay Sunny Trillanes na pera. I think, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, 2 beses sa kanyang opisina sa Quezon City. At kada linggo, tuwing nagmi-meeting sila sa Unit 8 or 9 na Polo Club Townhouse sa Makati, ay may dala na siyang bitbit. At sinasabi nila na binibigyan siya ng pondo para sa mga ICC. No? Kaya nga po, pati yung hotel accommodation nila ay binayaran ni Saldico at nakasaka ni Sunny Trillanes.
Okay.
Yung mga sasakyan na ginamit nila ay sasakyan ni Saldico. Yun po ang sinasabi ko na merong corruption, merong bribery. Na maaaring committed by the ICC investigators.
Kaya
And
nga.
But sir,
if you look
didn't you
at
just
the
affirm what I
totality-
said? But sir, that's what I was asking. So you did say nga na no na the ICC investigators may have committed graft and corruption.
Yes.
In fact, you now even add bribery kasi kahapon tanda ko lang was graft and corruption eh. So let me ask you about that po. Actually, that's the root of my question. Were you saying that this was used for their operations in the Philippines or for them to take home as their bribe or loot? Kasi now you're saying bribe.
Yes, kasi they are investigators, no? They are investigating, but they were wined and dined by Trillanes and the known political opponents of the person they are investigating. Kaya po, hindi po ba kwan yun, bribery and even graft and corruption? Bakit ipapabayad nila sa ibang tao yung kanilang expenses dito?
Sorry. So let's not play around with words, attorney. So first you deny what Ed said, which is that you are accusing them of bribery, and then now you're affirming it. Ano ba talaga? Are you accusing the ICC investigators of bribery and graft and corruption?
Yes, that is clear. They committed bribery, they committed graft and corruption.
Okay.
In the technical meaning of those words.
Then why were you countering Ed before? That was his question, right?
Anyway,
Okay,
sir,
let's move on.
let's
Okay,
move on.
let's move on. Where is
the
your
premise
evidence?
of,
That is a very serious allegation to make. And you said yesterday you had substantial evidence. So where's your evidence? And I'm not talking about the affidavit, because as we know, affidavits, especially when they're not signed, mean nothing. Where's your evidence?
As I said, you await after I have filed it with the Ombudsman. And going back to the premise, as I said, I want to correct the factual premise of what Mr. Ed Lingao said a while ago, that the $2 million were given to the ICC. Wala po yan sa affidavit.
So linawin lang natin.
Sir,
Meron
but
po
you
bang dinala
also
yung mga
mentioned the
ICC?
56 million pesos, if I recall correctly, you mentioned dalawang maleta with 56 million pesos each converted
Yes.
to $2 million that were
Yes.
turned over to Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators?
Hindi po.
Did I hear you right
But,
yesterday?
You are basing your comment on what you claim as having publicized in social media. Di po ba? Na unsigned yan?
Well, sir, the 56 million was something I heard from you yesterday, and the 2 maletas, and converted
Opo.
to $2 million.
Ito po yung sinabi ko exactly, no? Before December of 2023,
Yes, sir. That's the one.
okay, ay nagpapalit ang mga tao ni Zaldico ng 112 million equivalent to $2 million. At ang sinabi ni Mark Tiksay at saka ni Paul Estrada, pinaghahandaan nila ang pagdating ng mga foreigners. Wala
Okay,
pong
Nakarating po ba sa foreigner yon? Nakarating
Ano po?
po ba sa foreigner? Nakarating po ba sa foreigner yung pera na yon? Or kahit directly or indirectly?
Wala pong sinasabi ang mga dating sundalo na nakita nila na yung 2 million ay inabot sa ICC investigators. Wala po yan sa affidavit.
Well, actually, sir, my
Inabot
question
po ba
kanina
yung
was
pera
ano eh.
kay Senator Trillanes?
My question
Inabot po
kanina
ba
was
yung pera kay
with regard
Senator?
to the $2 million that you said yesterday that it was turned over to Trillanes for the use of the ICC investigators. I also never said that you said that it was given to them. That's what I was asking, whether it was given to them or whether it was used for their spending.
That's why po, I wanted to clarify a while ago your factual premise. There is nothing in the affidavit, and I did not say anything to the effect that the $2 million were turned over to Trillanes or were given to the ICC investigators. Ang sinasabi lamang po ay, ang sabi ni Paul Estrada, pinaghahandaan nila ang pagdating ng foreigners.
So hindi niyo po alam kung sino yung foreigner na yon.
Eventually, ang sabi ng mga sundalo na ito, in their affidavit,
Yes.
they claim that they eventually came to know who these foreigners were. At ito na nga yung mga ICC investigators.
Sinabi po ba nila na napunta sa mga foreigner na yan in any way, directly or indirectly, yung $2 million or yung 56 million per maleta na pera?
What is clear is what Paul Estrada and Mark Tiksay said to these soldiers, no? Na pinaghahandaan natin ang pagdating ng foreigners.
Okay. So hanggang dun
so
lang
walang
po ang
direct
alam nyo,
statement
sir.
na ibinigay.
Sorry. So hanggang dun lang po ang alam nyo, sir. Wala po nakakita that this money was in fact handed over, or nobody has evidence at this point that the money was given to these so-called foreigners. Tama?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
Doesn't that just collapse your whole argument?
What is my argument?
Which is that
That-
there was bribery involved, there was graft and corruption involved with the ICC investigators.
Look,
And by the way, how would the Marines recognize the ICC
Wait.
investigators?
Let me respond to that. The bribery and graft and corruption are centered on the fact that they were all of their expenses were paid for by Saldico and Sani Trillanes.
Pero paano pong nalaman na all the expenses were paid? Kasi tinatanong ko na ngayon did the foreigners, in this case the ICC investigators, at tinatanong ko nga kung merong statement or evidence na they were yung part of that money went to them directly or indirectly for their expenses nung nasa Pilipinas sila.
Ito po ang ginamit nilang mga kung saan sila tumira dito sa Pilipinas.
Accommodations, okay.
Yung mga condominium units ni Saldico, sa Raffles, sa Citadines, yung mga hotel accommodations nila sa Seda, sa iba't ibang hotels dito, hindi ko maalala yung iba, sa Diamond, etc., ay pinabayad ni Saldico kay Mark Tiksay at saka si Paul Estrada. At merong inuutusan din si Sani Trillanes na tao niya. Nakabanggit doon sa affidavit nila kung sino yung inuutusan ni Sani na magbayad ng mga hotel accommodations. Kasi pabalik-balik po sila dito sa Pilipinas 2024 to 2025. Hindi lang iba-iba, yun po ang sinasabi ko. Yung accommodation nila, yung food nila, yung sasakyan na ginamit, hindi nila ibinigay ni Saldico at saka ni Sani Trillanes.
Paano pong nalaman na ICC investigator, yung mga foreigner?
Exactly. How would they
Yung
recognize them?
Yung mga sundalo po ay kasama nila Sila yung nag-provide ng security every day. Nandoon din sila sa kung nasaan ang mga foreigners na ito. At na-confirm nga nila eventually na taga-ICC ang mga ito dahil kasama sila noong pumunta sila sa National Bilibid Prisons, sila ang nag-secure sa mga foreigners na ito. Pag pumupunta sila sa Midas Hotel, nakikita rin nila yung mga ini-interview na mga supposed witnesses ng mga ito. At sabi ko nga,
I don't
yung si Chantal Daniels na team leader ng ICC investigators ay kilala na nila kasi escort nga sila eh. And they were able to take her picture and confirm na doon sa isang TV screen grab na nilagay nila dyan, among others, ay maliwanag na si Chantal Daniel yon.
How could these so-called investigators have had military and Marines protection when in 2024, hindi pa po nagko-cooperate ang government sa ICC? In fact, President Marcos made it very clear several times then that the government was not cooperating. So are you saying that he was lying about it?
Yes, the president was lying about his claim that the government will never cooperate with the ICC. Why? Well, itong mga Marines na ito, hindi na sila in active service, tao di Saldico ito. Pero yung mga officials ng government, si former Secretary Crispin Remulla was meeting with these ICC investigators in a very private place, no, bahay niya. Itinago yung pagmi-meeting ng mga ito, and
Kaya
I
nga,
will not-
see, attorney, that's the other thing. It was all made incredibly confidential and secret. Trust me, us in the media, we're also trying to find out more at that time. Pero talagang wala kami makuha. So we knew they were operating in secret. So how would the 18 gentlemen that you're with know about it?
They saw them, ma'am. They saw them meeting. The ICC investigators were seen meeting with these government officials. Si Speaker Martin Romualdez, si former Police Chief Nick Torre, former DOJ Secretary Martin Remulla, Sani Trillanes, no?
Sir, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to my original question. I'd like to find a way for us to get an answer here. If I get you correctly, your clarification, as you call it, is that yung $2 million na kinonvert from the 56 plus 56 ay paghahanda para sa pagdating ng mga foreigners who turned out to be the ICC people. My question to you from the very start was this money supposed to be used for the operations of the investigation of the ICC here, or was it supposed to be used as a bribe for the ICC investigators? If you recall, that was my original question. So, ayun po. I'll go back to that, and I'd like to follow up from there. Ano po, which one was it?
Yeah, there is no categorical statement from the former soldiers that the $2 million went either to Sani Trillanes or the ICC investigators. What they merely stated is that Paul Estrada confided with them that they are preparing for the arrival of the foreigners. That is why nagpapapalit sila sa dolyar amounting to $2 million.
I asked that kasi it's not just a bit, it's quite complicated to convert 56 times 2 million pesos to $2 million. A huge amount of dollars yan. It's not easily done, and I'm wondering if there's a paper trail there. And number two, if it's for operations here, in preparation for the arrival, why convert to dollars when you're in the Philippines where they're supposed to be investigating, when they'd be spending in pesos? Isn't that a very roundabout way of going about it and needlessly complicated? Not unless you're implying that it was money that they were supposed to bring out.
I cannot speculate on that, Mr. Ed. No, sorry.
So
I cannot make any speculation as to why.
But didn't you wonder why the story goes like that? Wasn't there any question in your mind? I mean, 56 plus 56, 112 million pesos convert to dollars. Parang hirap gawin eh. Tapos from there, saan mo gagamitin dito sa Pilipinas? I mean, I'm sure that struck your mind.
Nawala siya.
Okay, we lost him.
He disappeared.
Okay, I guess,
Did the
we'll
line
try to get him
give or
back.
he hung up?
We'll try to get him back. I don't know if he hung up or anyway, we'll try to get him back. But we were going around and around in circles. Kasi.
Exactly. We were going around in circles. That's why I was like, okay, let's move on.
Okay. So, but yeah.
Ayan na siya ulit. Bumalik na
Okay,
siya.
that's good.
Okay.
Sorry po at
Yes, sir.
naputol.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's good that you came
Morning.
back. Anyway, sir, I'm wondering lang, I'm sure that question struck your mind. I mean, that's a question anybody would ask. Didn't you wonder?
Yeah, I did ask them, and that is only what they can tell me, that they heard or they were told by Paul Estrada and Mark Tiksay that they are going to exchange the 112 million pesos into $2 million because they were preparing for the arrival of the foreigners.
Were
Yun
they-
lang po ang
Yes, sir.
sinasabi nila.
Were they able to
Attorney,
elaborate
may
how
nabanggit
they...
bang bangko?
Mhm.
Attorney, may nabanggit bang bangko kung saan nag-change? Kasi that's saldi ko eh. Baka
Hindi-
normal sa kanya. Bilyonaryo yan eh.
Hindi
baka
po
naman
bangko
normal
eh.
dun sa bangko niya.
Hindi
na
po
magganyan
bangko
nga.
kung saan sila nagpalit. Hindi po
Saan
bangko.
daw?
It's a building in Makati. Ayoko na pong sabihin yung pangalan ng building, no? Pero hindi po yun bangko. Hindi bangko.
Ano siya? Money changer?
Pwede pong money changer pero nasa isang kwan siya, medyo high-end na building sa Makati.
Oo nga. But it's a financial, it's a BSP regulated financing institution.
Hindi po ako nakakasiguro kung BSP regulated yung opisina na pinagpalitan nila ng dolyar.
Oo. But it's a financing institution, hindi siya, involved siya sa monetary activities.
Po pwede pong ganon.
Oo. Na legit naman. Baka naman alam nyo kung legit o illegitimate yung operation. Kasi, ano yun, parang money changer.
Itinuro lang po sa akin yung building eh.
You know,
Are you gonna
hindi
name
na po-
the building?
Yeah, hindi na ako umakyat sa building para i-verify kung opisina ba 'yan o isang
You know,
hindi ko alam kung
oh.
legitimate or illegitimate yung opisina na pinagpalitan nila.
Oo. Hindi naman private company. Baka naman kumpanya ni Saldico yung mga sinasabi nyo na
Hindi po eh, walang opisina si Saldico doon sa building na 'yon sa Makati. Oo.
You know, attorney,
Sir.
it sounds like a lot of this information that you're holding on to is secondhand and third-hand, in some cases. Can I just ask, what is your motivation here? Because all of a
No,
sudden,
ma'am.
you hold this press conference alleging serious wrongdoing. We've yet to see some evidence, and I'm also just wondering what was your original motivation here? You said you only met the 18 gentlemen in October of last year and started building this case. So paano po kayo nasama dito?
You know, ma'am, you cannot label the information they have as second hand or third hand.
No, your
Because
information is secondhand. Kasi we were asking you
personal
about...
witnesses po sila.
Yes,
No?
but they only told you. Wala ka naman talaga doon, right? That's the definition of secondhand, sir. You
But
weren't there.
I did not execute the affidavit. They were the ones who execute the affidavit.
Correct. Yes, they executed. Then they told you about all of these things. So your information is secondhand, not their information. So that's what I was asking you. What is your involvement here?
I think you misunderstood the rules on evidence, ma'am. But nevertheless, I
What
do
do
not
I
want
not
to
understand
argue
about the
with you.
rules of evidence?
Yes.
What do I not understand about the rules of evidence?
For describing their statement or my statement as second hand.
It's not secondhand. You weren't there, right? As you said, you yourself said you weren't there when all of these things were going on, when they were withdrawing the money,
Do you
giving
know
the money to
about-
somebody
do
else.
you
They
know
were
the
all
meaning
told to
of,
you.
Do you know the meaning of independently relevant statement?
Okay, so that's what I'm also trying to get at. What is your involvement here? Bakit kayo nasama dito? You're not a prosecutor. You're not. Are you a lawyer for some of these Marines?
Alam nyo, ma'am, bilang isang Pilipino, meron akong obligasyon na mahanap natin ang katotohanan at katarungan dito sa pagnanakaw ng
Sir,
pera
sir.
sa kabad ng bayan.
Oo, you don't have to tell me
Okay,
that.
you asked
We are
about
also
my
trying to get to the bottom of
motivation.
things. Oo, kami din.
You asked about my motivation, no? Alam niyo po, noong 2013, ang advocacy ko ay anti-corruption at ako ang nag-expose sa PDAP scam. And Ben Harloy was one of my witnesses. Kinasuhan ko ang 14 na senador, 198 na congressmen at limang cabinet secretaries.
Okay, yeah.
Pangalawa, yung mga pag-aabuso ni Teves sa Negros. Halos 1 taon po akong pabalik-balik sa Negros kasi walang matakbuhan ang mga biktima ng patayan doon. Ngayon po, nakita ko kung paano trinato si Gutesa. At meron akong obligasyon na tumulong para malaman natin ang katotohanan. You ask about my motive, that is my motive.
I don't
Gusto
understand.
kong makaambag sa paghahanap ng katarungan.
I don't understand what you mean when you say with how they treated Gutesa sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. We all watched the hearings. In fact, si Senator Lacson wanted him to come back and to give them more details, di ba? Kaya lang siya mismo yung nawala. He disappeared. So I'm not sure exactly what you mean by how they treated Gutesa and why you're making it sound like he was treated very badly.
Okay, number one, we all witnessed Gutesa taking his oath before the committee. At binasa niya yung statement niya. Ibig sabihin, yung statement niya was made under oath before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Bakit tinututukan yung alleged falsification ng notarization when his oath before the committee was already equivalent to a notarization? No? Pangalawa, sinasabi mo na nawala si Gutesa dahil hindi na siya nagpakita, pinapahanap ni Senator Lacson. Alam niyo po ba kung bakit siya nawala? Was it on his own volition na hindi siya nagpakita? Ang sabi sa nakakontak sa pamilya nila ay itinago siya ng mga merong interest na pagtakpan ng katotohanan.
Actually, yun nga, tinatanong ko, attorney, kung nasa na si Orly Gutesa. Sinabi ni Senator Lacson actually na yung sworn statement niya before the Senate Blue Ribbon will stand kasi nga, ayun na nga, sworn statement. Hindi na daw kailangan gamitin yung statement na merong whatever forged notary or whatever, okay na daw yung kanyang sworn statement sa Senado. Sinabi niya yon. So ngayon, kung ano, ang tanong ko ngayon, since you are forwarding these statements to the Ombudsman, ano exactly yung nature ng ipa-file yung complaint at sino yung fa-filean nyo? Kasi you're saying na dapat hindi pinondohan ni Saldico yung mga operation dito nung sinasabi niyong mga foreigner who turned out to be ICC prosecutor. Sino yung balak niyong filean at ano yung nature ng ipa-file nyo kung sakasakali lang?
Well, una, bibigyan po natin ng pagkakataon si Ombudsman Remulla.
Yes. Nawawala yung ano niya, signal.
We lost the line
Oh,
again.
nawala.
Apologies for that.
Babalik yan. O, yun ang sinasabi. Saka, isa pang tanong dyan, Ed. Yan na. Okay.
Are you back, sir?
Bumalik na si attorney ulit. Hi, attorney.
Sorry po
Well, thank you for coming back.
Pakituloy lang po. Pakituloy lang po.
Yung Office of the Ombudsman will decide what cases
Yes.
to be filed against whom. And second, clearly to be charged should be the several congressmen and senators who receive money, no? Kasi po, una, as a public official, hindi ka po pwedeng tumanggap ng milyon-milyon na pera. Pangalawa, hindi nila ito dineclare sa SALN nila. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Opo, yes,
We can hear you.
yes.
Sorry.
We can hear you.
Oo. At marami pong violations ito, no? Yung sa Republic Act 3019, Republic Act 6713.
Sir, to that point that you're making right now, tama ba
Wala sa
the
ulan.
affidavit? Oh,
Nawala ulit.
Line is very
Nag-ano yung
unstable.
connection eh.
Yeah.
Oh, we hope he can come
Apologize
back.
for that.
Oo.
Maybe we could try him one last time, then let him go since the line is very shaky.
Ami, you can see naman pag nakabalik siya, no?
Oo, ayan, bumalik na
Okay,
siya.
okay.
Bumalik na siya.
Sir,
Okay na.
anyway,
Okay.
you
Sorry
mentioned
po,
we can hear you,
maganda
sir.
naman ang
Opo,
signal ko
opo.
dito pero napuputol.
Yes, sir. But we appreciate your coming
okay.
back. Sir, let me ask you lang about the affidavit that they signed. Of course, it does include members of Congress and the Senate who allegedly received maletas, some medium, some large, and so on down the line. Tama ho ba ang intindi ko na some of these congressmen include Raul Manuel, Arlene Brosas, Franz Castro, and Laila de Lima?
Yes po, oo.
Oo.
Ang basis po kasi ng mga sundalo na ito, pag nagmi-meeting po sila sa Unit 8 and 9, no? As I said, ang naging sistema ni Saldico, nagdadala siya ng isang sasakyan na nandun yung mga pera, no?
Mhm.
At kasama niya itong mga security personnel na ito.
Mhm.
And if you have seen Units 8 and 9 in Polo Club Townhouse, yung parking area doon nasa tapat lamang ng Units 8 and 9. At nakikita nila na yung dinala nilang pera, no? Kung ano man ang lalagyan yan, paper bag or whatever. Paglabas ng mga nag-uusap doon ay bit-bit na nila kasi yung the same
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
paper bags o maleta na dinala nila doon.
Yes, sir.
And that is their, well, a reasonable mind will be convinced na yung binitbit nila ay pera talaga ang laman.
Good point, sir. But also a reasonable mind would also ask na it's more understandable to believe that members of the administration could possibly receive money from these administration people. But these people I just mentioned, they belong to the opposition. They're not part of the administration. In fact, kasama sila sa nag-file ng impeachment complaints against not just Tar Duterte but Bongbong Marcos. So I'm sure you had that same question yourself.
We lost him again.
Nawala siya ulit.
I apologize for that. Medyo
Wala.
cliffhangers.
Hindi kasi
each time.
sinasabi nga niya merong secret support yung Marcos administration doon sa impeachment ni Rodrigo Duterte. That's the principal premise dito sa mga akusasyon na to, di ba? At ginamit ng administration si Saldico na at that time nasa pwesto pa
Right.
along with the
But,
speaker para i-finance yung operation to
Correct.
proceed with the investigation informally.
Correct. That's a pretty big claim.
Oo, yan
Especially
ang main
since-
premise.
Oo nga, especially since
Ayan na siya ulit. Nandiyan na siya ulit.
okay.
Attorney,
Yes, ma'am, sorry po.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know what's
Opo.
happening
Yes, sir.
with my
But we appreciate your coming
connection.
back. We do appreciate your coming back. I know it's difficult from your end, but you keep coming back. So that's fine. Sir, my question to you, I'm sure you asked the same question yourself, na bakit yung mga bahagi ng oposisyon, na bahagi ng grupong gusto ring ipa-impeach si Pangulong Marcos, bakit sila magsa-sign on? Bakit sila bibigyan ng mali-malitang pera? I'm sure you asked that question yourself. So bakit po?
Yeah, I don't know po. Yun po yung nakita nila eh. That's what they've seen. That's what they observed with their own eyes, with their senses. I cannot question them. Hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin. Bakit?
ayan na.
Oh, something's wrong with my line.
Hindi, okay
Sorry
na
po.
ulit. Okay
Okay
na
na, sir.
ulit.
You're back na. You're back.
Okay ulit. Yeah.
Bakit kaya?
Okay na ulit, attorney.
Oo. Normal po na tanungin. Actually, bakit nabigyan ang mga ito? Pero sabi nila, yan po ang nakita namin, sir eh. And in fact, they said that a lot more legislators receive money from Zaldico, pero hindi nila matandaan ang mga pangalan. That's why, challenge pa nga ho nila ako, sir. Hindi naman challenge, but it was a request. Sir, can you accompany us to Congress? Pagka nagkaroon sila ng session, maybe we can we can attend a session para makita namin kung sino-sino yung mga nakita namin noon.
But again, to be clear, they did not see the money in these so-called paper bags and maleta, correct?
Nakita po nila kasi una nga sila yung kasama sa pagbitbit po eh.
Sabi mo,
Sila
sir,
yung-
it's a reasonable mind that will assume that it's money.
Pardon?
Di ba kakasabi niyo lang that, they didn't see it, but, a reasonable mind will conclude that it was money?
No, ma'am. Hindi ko po sinabi na hindi nila nakita na pera yon. No? Alam nilang pera yon, kasama sila sa pag-empake, pag-transport,
Doon
etc.
sa building na sinasabi nyo. Doon sa building.
O, saang building po? Doon sa townhouse?
Doon po nanggaling yung pera.
Opo, sa
Yung
Horizon.
building.
Sa Horizon Homes.
Pangalanan nyo na yung building para ano.
Yun nga po,
Para
yung
matingnan
Horizon
din namin.
Homes sa BGC.
BGC.
Yeah. Horizon
Sa
Homes.
BGC.
Oo.
I don't,
Ano
I don't know if that
pangalan?
answers your question, Ed.
Horizon Homes po.
Horizon Homes.
Pero,
Ayun, Ed, Horizon Homes.
yes,
Who lives in Horizon Homes, Ed?
oo. Does that answer your question, Ed? Parang,
Well, basically
Horizon
sabi ni
Homes,
attorney, he
Ed.
doesn't know din eh.
Okay.
That's what the attorney said eh.
okay. And by the way, attorney, the reason that nag-focus sila dun sa notarization of the testimony is of Sergeant Orly Guteza is because that's the first step, no? You have to stress test the credibility of whoever is making that allegation. And kung dun pa lang, bumagsak na, nag-fail na, the notary herself said she did not notarize it, then what does that say about the rest of his testimony, right? I mean, I think you're an officer of the court, so you should know how important it is, the notarization. But anyway, my last question to you is, what is your connection to Attorney Mike Defensor?
To Attorney Mike Defensor?
Oo.
No, he is not a lawyer. But I first came to know him when I worked in Congress as a member of the staff of Congressman Edgar Lara and Congresswoman Celia Layus way back in the 1990s.
Okay, so you guys go a long way back.
Yeah, and then second, after I was able to talk with these soldiers, I deemed it necessary to inquire with him what happened to Gutesa so that I also know how to take care of these former soldiers.
So ano nga daw po ang nangyari kay kay Mr. Gutesa?
Ang sabi nga po ay nasa ibang bansa na siya, pero yung ibang source ko naman ay nagsasabi na pinalaya na siya at kasama na niya ang kanyang pamilya daw ngayon. So I don't know. I'm not sure about the accuracy of those informations.
Oo nga, sir. That's what we keep coming back to, the accuracy of the information, the accuracy of the allegations. Even si Sergeant Guteza, si Attorney Mike Defensor told us he was hiding within the Marines compound. We fact-checked that with the Marines. They said no. They were 100% sure that nobody would have gotten in there without their knowing. So, you tell me, who do we believe? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I
Mm.
cannot answer for Mike Defensor.
Di ba magkasama kayo, sir, sa press con?
Si Mike Defensor po, kasama ko.
Ay, sorry, sir. Oo, naiwan sa press con. He organized the press
Okay.
con allegedly.
I don't know about that, ma'am.
But sino nag-organize ng press con, attorney?
Meron po akong kinausap na kaibigan ko but not Mike Defensor.
Okay. So, the organizer of this press conference is a friend of yours.
Yes.
Did they also fund it?
No.
Who funded the press con?
Who funded the press con? Wala po akong binayad sa mga pumunta doon sa press con.
Hindi, I mean, there's still small costs associated with that, right? The venue rental, food, and it's Club Filipino, so I assume hindi yan ganun ka-cheap.
I will have to ask my friend who arranged bakit ganito? Ayan. I will have to ask my friend ma'am who arranged for that press con if she shouldered the expenses for that.
Is this friend a politician by any chance?
No, she's not a politician.
It's a she.
Yes, and she's an ordinary citizen.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we've run out of time. Actually, we extended a little bit. We'll let you go, but thank you so much for talking to us today, Attorney Levy Baligod.
Thank
Salamat,
you
sir.
po.
Thank you, Attorney.
Thank you. Thank you po.
Rich.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We just got a message from the executive producer. I'm only just seeing. Yung photo daw na pinakita ni Baligod of Stella House.
Wait, we have to confirm that pa.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I
Okay.
don't want to jump the gun kagad and
Okay, we will just fact check something that Attorney Baligod said, and we'll come back to that. But at this point, we're gonna go on a very quick break. Thanks for watching Storycon. Please stay with us. We've got another half hour to go.
Okay.
Welcome back to Storycon. This is the last stretch of the program. I'm Regina Lay. My partner in crime.
Huh?
In crime talaga, you know. Ed Lingao has to do another newscast soon and will leave in a short while. But still with me, we've got Amy Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star.
Okay.
So, what did you think, Amy?
Hindi, nagka-ano kasi, talagang matagal na nilang inaano si Saldico for monetary matters, no? Nagka-problema dahil iniimbestiga siya ngayon sa flood control. So, yung inaano nila, yung narrative dyan, dati nang sinusuportahan ng administrasyon yung effort to get Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague, to the ICC, at ang ginamit na panggastos, yan ang ano dyan, yan lang yung issue dyan ang ginamit na panggastos, habang nandito yung mga ICC investigator, ang pinadaan kay Saldico, who's now in trouble over the flood control mess, at nagtataka ngayon yung mga tao, bakit gano'n na dirty money ba yung ginamit at dinaan daw kay Sunny Trillanes. Yun ang inaalam natin ngayon.
Ako lang kasi ang dami kong tanong dun sa
ni Sunny Trillanes.
Ang dami kong tanong dun sa mga details that do not seem to add
Line up.
Of course,
Yung
these are things that
tinatanong
have
mo,
to be,
yung cash, normally kapag ganyan, ayaw nila ng paper trail sa bangko. Kaya lahat ng panggasto, sa eleksyon ganyan, puro cash.
But you know what?
Yan ang mga ano.
Kesyo,
$2 million.
but Kesyo, money changer pa yon, bank,
Hindi daw na
quasi-financial institution, may paper trail yon. And secondly,
And we're talking about dollars.
ewan ko kung meron,
if they're withdrawing
Hindi daw bangko
if they're withdrawing that much money, yung money changers and the banks are mandated to do a KYC, know your customer. May extra.
Actually, hindi siya masyadong nasusunod. Ano?
Oo, pero no.
Kasi,
Nasusunod siya.
Ano dyan sa, may threshold dyan 500,000
Correct.
lang, di ba?
Mababa lang.
Pero,
no.
kasi tinanong ko yan nung nagkagulo dun sa, yung bilyon-bilyon na, yung napakalaking cash.
Yes.
Sinabi sa akin ng mga banker, kung regular namin yung kliyente at alam naman namin na yung negosyo niya, capable, kasi it's too much daw if they have to check kung milyon-milyon.
No, but that's for
every
the-
500,000 you have to alert.
That's for the contractors. Pero,
Hindi, pati sa private. Kung
Yes.
yung kumpanya, halimbawa, it's an Ayala,
no, but they have to be,
they will not bother.
they have to be on the list. May listahan sila of the approved,
Ay, hindi ko alam kung nililista yung mga
for the
ganyan.
approved people who are allowed to take huge withdrawals. My point being,
Hindi nga daw bangko yan Yan ang
Kung-
problema. It's
kaya
not
nga,
a bank.
I mean, whether they're quasi-financial institution, under BSP pa rin yan, and they would have been mandated to do a KYC check first and find out more. Hindi agad-agad na, okay, I can change that much
Ideally.
money. And also, keso money changer yan, keso quasi-financial institution, there would be an extra step. That's what I was trying to get at.
Ideally.
And especially if the person withdrawing the money is a politically connected person. You know, when in the
Pero
bank
at that
forms,
time,
you have to...
At that time, hindi pa nai-skandalo si Saldi ko eh.
Hindi, kahit na. You know, in the bank forms, when you fill it out and you're applying to open an account or something, there's a part
Yeah.
there where you have to declare if you're a politically connected person or not. Kasi there's a special protocol for that. So that's why I'm wondering, like, yung details, as
Kung
Ed was saying,
nasusunod.
yung details
Oo.
around that are a bit murky. Kasi nga, it sounded like a lot of his information was just secondhand. Kwinento lang sa kanya. So he wasn't himself there. But anyways, we have to pivot now. We have to bring in our second guest this afternoon. We're talking to former Congressman Robert Ace Barbers, whose name is said to have been in the list of the so-called Maleta recipients. Welcome back to StoryCon, Congressman.
Yes, good afternoon, Regina, Ami, and Ed. Magandang hapon din po sa ating mga kababayan.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
sir.
Congressman.
Hi, Ami.
So I guess the first thing is to have you react to the allegation na nandun ka
Yeah.
raw sa
Well,
list of recipients.
my reaction is the same as that of my former colleagues. No? Nakakatawa. No? At ito ay poorly done script, no? Na nakita natin na talagang hindi ka panipaniwala. This is preposterous, ika nga, and absurd. No? Number one, they came out and did a press con and circulating a document. They say the affidavit of all these alleged bagmen, pero they did not sign it, no? So ano namang klase? And I guess yung lawyer na nagsasalita, dapat in-advisean niya yung kanyang mga kliyente dun sa likod ng video na ba't di kayo pumirma rito? No? Number one. Number two, napaka ill-timed, no? Yung kanilang ginawang press con na yan, o yung sinasabi nilang major expose, no? I guess the objective there is really to divert, no, the attention of the public doon sa usapin sa ICC at doon sa napipintong investigation, impeachment hearing ng Committee on Justice by March 2 or March 3. So I guess these are all part of the propaganda to divert the attention of the public into the real issue. Yun lang ang masasabi ko.
So hindi siya ill-timed for them, Congressman. It's the perfect timing for them actually. Kung yun nga yung ano. But anyway, si Senator Trillanes, sabi niya, nagbabalak siya ng cyber libel. Kayo, may balak ba kayo? Or you or your former colleagues sa Congress, meron din ba kayong balak na criminal or legal action, I mean?
I haven't spoken to my former colleagues yet, no? Hindi pa kami nakapag-usap. But I will ask my lawyers to study kung pwede bang makas. Kasi walang yung affidavit, walang mga pirma, walang mga signature. So we are wondering sino yung pwede nating habulin at kasuhan dito sa paninira o yung pagkakaroon ng smear campaign against the members of Congress. And specifically dito yung yung Quadcom. Mga members, no?
Yan na nga.
Yun ang talagang ginawa nila ng kwento.
Hindi yung abogado, hindi ba pwedeng kasuhan?
Isa yun, doon sa pinag-aaral, nagtataka nga ako, he could have given a sound advice to his clients, yung nasa likod niya, kung kliyente niya yung 18 yun. Sana naman, isa doon na in-advise niya na pumirma doon sa affidavit na yun para hindi naman maging peke na script yung ginawa nilang drama kahapon. Sa Zarzuela sa tingin ko, Ami.
Congressman,
Pero ang implication dito involved yung House in some way doon sa support sa pag-iimbestiga ng ICC in the Philippines, getting witnesses to testify. Did you ever hear about that kind of operation involving congressmen supporting the ICC investigation against Rodrigo Duterte?
We have no knowledge about that, Ami. Remember, I've been asked several times during sa kainitan ng Quadcom hearing kung may magpa-participate ba o magko-cooperate ba ang ang committee, ang Quad Committee dito sa investigation ng ano. Lagi namin sinasabi na hindi kami magko-cooperate because we are not a member of the ICC anymore. So yun ang aming pinaninindigan until now, Ami.
But his allegation that yun nga, you were in cahoots with former Senator Trillanes and that all the expenses, the accommodation, the car, the food, everything were shouldered by Congressman Zaldi Co. What do you know about this, Congressman? Is there any truth to this?
I honestly would say there's no truth to that, Regina. No? Kasi halatang, yun nga, kagaya nga yung sinabi ko, it's a poorly done script. No? It's a hack job against perhaps some members of Congress, specifically the members of the Quad Committee. Diba? For obvious reasons. Hindi naman natin maitatago na ang nasa likod nito. Kahapon nga, bakit hindi napag-usapan yung ano, nung pinapakilala yung mga sundalo dun sa video? Why didn't they even talk about these soldiers are the ones fighting the Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea? They never mentioned that. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Sa akin palagay, isa lang ang objective nito, no? Siraan ang maaaring magdesisyon dito sa usapin ng impeachment, napipintong impeachment sa Kongreso.
So you don't know.
Congressman,
So you don't know Attorney Baligod personally, Congressman Barbers?
Do I know Attorney Baligod?
Oo.
No, I don't know him.
Okay.
Kaya nga sabi ko, kung magaling na abogado sana to, siguro sana in-advisean niya yung kanyang mga kliyente na presenta before the media na pumirma sana dun sa affidavit para naman magkaroon ng sinasabing pagkakataon na masagot ito ng mga inaakusahan.
Congressman, nung ongoing yung Quadcom on the war on drugs and pati si former President Duterte humarap doon Did the ICC or some representative or go-between ever reach out to you para hingin yung records ng Quadcom?
There was never an attempt to reach out to us. There were people who were saying na kung pwede ba raw na maka-access ng records ng Quad
Yes.
Committee o yung at least yung transcript. So sinabi namin hindi kami makakapag-cooperate dahil hindi nga tayo ngayon ay member ng ICC. Pero ito namang hearing na ito, these are done live
Public.
on Facebook and other social media platforms.
Yes. Oo, they're a matter of public record, so legally admissible naman siya.
Yes, that's correct.
Pero yung official report nyo kakailanganin nila, di ba? They will need an official report from Congress. Meron ba kayong ganon, na official report from Quadcom, yung pirmado?
Yes, yung official report niya nandyan sa committee, nasa archive ng House, no?
Yes.
And those government agencies mentioned to in the committee report that must take action, binigyan din sila ng copy. And all these committee reports, itong mga committee reports na to, are also read out on live on national TV when before we terminated the Quadcom hearings. And even in the plenary, naka-live din yan. So they can probably access that anytime.
Public record dyan, Congressman. Halimbawa ako, I can access the official report.
I believe so, Ami, kasi bukod sa ito ay nabasa live on national TV and on Facebook live streaming. Yung aming mga committee reports ng different committees of the House, lahat yan sinasubmit yan for archiving after the current Congress closes or adjourns. So lahat yan nasa record yan. I believe pwedeng ma-access yan.
And we can also ask for it. But we'll leave that there. We just wanted to very quickly get your reaction to that. We'll have to leave that there. We'll call you back in for another day. Thanks so much for talking to us today, former Congressman Robert Ace Barbers.
Thank you,
very much for
Congressman.
having me. Thank you, Ami. Thank you.
Yes.
Also tagged by Attorney Baligod is General Nicolas Torre III, now of course MMDA General Manager, and we also have him on the line. Welcome back to StoryCon, General Torre. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. Magandang hapon po. Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, General.
Your reaction, General, to being tagged as one of the recipients daw of this suitcases of cash?
Parang hindi ko naman nabasa ang pangalan ko na ako'y tumanggap. Ang sinabi lang ay nandun ako sa meeting. Kaya, at saka ang isang nakita ko is napakarami kasi ng pangalan doon na na-involved. At
Oo.
sa ngayon naman, hindi naman sigurado kung tatayuan nga ba ng mga sumulat na yon ang kanilang sinabi dahil, it was released to the media kasi kung seryoso talaga sila dyan, they should have released it to the proper judicial or prosecution panel of prosecution office para makapag-file sila ng kaso. Hintayin ko na lang na pirmahan muna nila at lagyan nila ng pirmahan nila yung sa harap ng abogado, ipanotarize nila yan, subscribe and sworn to before me dapat. Para bago natin sagutin kasi at the end of the day, baka biglang sabihin nila, joke lang yan. Hindi totoo yan. Joke only. It happened in the past.
Oo nga, sir. We were asking about the signatures, why it was unsigned, the affidavit. Pero sir, you're correct. Hindi ka daw tumanggap, allegedly, but yes, you were there. The implication is clear, though, that you were part of this scheme, that you colluded to, I guess, to get former President Duterte to the ICC.
Ang tingin ko, ang pagkabasa ko, hindi ko kasi napansin masyado, so busy preparing for this, the events today. Ang napag-intindi ko is that ang pinag-uusapan is parang ang pangalan ko idinidikit sa ICC and to the, ang meeting is something together with the ICC eh. Something like that. Hindi ko pa napapansin talaga ng buo. I was so engrossed with the job today.
Sige, General, ano na lang. Kasi kayong nag-aresto kay President Duterte. At any point during the operations, medyo komplikado yun, meron bang natanggap ang PNP na funds from outside the PNP or outside the national government, from private or basta hindi galing sa executive?
Sa pagkahuli kay
Yung
President Duterte?
yung sa operation na yon. Meron bang nag-contribute from private yung halimbawa eroplano. Kanino ba yung eroplanong yon?
Alam nyo, yung pagka-arrest kay President Duterte, that was 11 months ago, no? 11 months ago lang, wala
Yes.
pang 1 year yon. During the time, I'm the chief of the CIDG. Ang operation na yon ay napag-discussan na hanggang sa Senate hearing. Ando na rin, so many things were said
Hindi
and
yung
done.
pag-aresto, yung pag-turnover, General. Yung pag-turnover kay President Duterte sa Interpol pala. Ang
Isang po yun isang sunod-sunod na, that is a continuous operation from the morning na
Yes.
siya ay inaresto at hanggang sa siya ay madala sa Hague. So lahat ng yan, may Senate investigation na, may ginawa ng Kongreso, and so many fora ang nag-investigate niyan. So I think everything to be said about that can already be said. Ang tanong na lang ngayon kung the things that are to be said supposedly is ito na lang kung ano ang mga masasabi natin about dito sa confirmation of charges hearings.
So walang natanggap ang PNP during the operation to turn him over from yung pondo yung operational expenses from outside the PNP or from outside the executive branch.
I don't think, ako naman, I chief ng CIDG at the time and I only operated within the ambit of my office and without the resources that's given to that's available to me during the times as CIDG chief.
Yung eroplano, General, would you know kung kanino nang galing yung eroplano?
I think that was already covered ng congressional hearings. Hindi ko na ma-recall kung ano ang naging resolution dahil during the time na nandun na nagka-hearing ng gano'n, I don't think na tatanong ako regarding that matter.
General, we in the media, and I guess some other people know who owned that Gulfstream, but I don't think we ever got official confirmation. So as you said, since 1 year, halos 1 year na rin tong pag-arrest, maybe you can also now confirm.
kung sino nga.
I don't think,
Puro
I think
speculation
you're
lang kami.
barking at the wrong tree, madam. Hindi yung, I don't think na ako ang magiging authority para magsabi kung sino talaga may-ari ng aeroplano na ginamit.
Okay.
I mean, we at some point looked up the tail number anyways, pero okay.
Tama
You
po
know,
yun.
looking back, was there anything about that day, that fateful day on March, was it 12, 2025, that you would have changed? Especially now that china-challenge nga yung constitutionality of Duterte's arrest.
Naku, yung challenge naman palagi is karapatan niya ng kung sino mang Pilipino. However, now that we are looking at the confirmation of charges hearings, nakikita natin na itong proseso ay isang malinaw na seryoso at formal na proseso ng batas na dapat igalang talaga ng lahat, kung ano, kahit na ano man ang iyong pananaw sa mga bagay-bagay. Ang ako naman, sa pangunguna na nanguna sa pag-aresto at pagtiyak ng ligtas na pagdala kay former President Duterte sa Hague, ito, ginawa ko lang bilang pagtupad ng tungkulin. Professional, ayon sa batas, at walang halong personal na motibo. Ang papel ko ay ipatupad ng batas, hindi husgaan ng kaso. So, sa ngayon, nakikita natin ang dumating na sa confirmation of hearing charges at kasabay nito, gusto ko lang i-take ang chance na to again na ipaabot ang pakikiramay sa mga pamilya ng biktima. Ano man ang panindigan ng bawat isa sa atin, sa usaping ito, hindi natin maaaring ipagsawalang bahala ang sakit at pagdurusang kanilang dinaranas. Sila po ang complainant, sila po ang biktima, sila po ang naapektuhan. Ang mga ganitong proseso ay hindi madali. Ngunit ito ay umiiral upang mabigyan ng pagkakataon ng lahat na marinig sa ilalim ng batas. At sa huli ang mahalaga ay masunod ang due process, manatiling patas ang pagdinig at hayaang gumana ang mga institusyon ng malaya at walang impluensyang politikal. At sa mga nangyayari ngayon, ito, live na napapanood natin, we can always say what we want. Kami naman sa gobyerno, ako dito sa MMDA, we are just monitoring and providing support to security forces, to our security forces, kung ano man ang operations nila na paghahanda sa mga bagay na ito.
Fair enough. Just very quickly, General, I now that we're rolling pictures of that fateful day last year, naalala ko na, at Villamor, di ba, the common law wife of Duterte, si Hanilet Avancenia, and his daughter, Kitty Duterte, were physically and verbally attacking you. I wonder if you ever, resolve that with them. Nakapag-ayos na po ba kayo?
Wala pa pong pagkakataon na magkita kami muli at magkausap o magkaharap man lang. So, okay na yun. Part ng kasama sa bayad yun, kasama sa sweldo yun. Walang problema sa akin yun. It's really just a course of trabaho lang, kasama sa trabaho lang.
Okay, so you left it in the past na. You left bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Okay. Salamat, sir. Thank you for talking to us today. MMDA General Manager, General Nicholas Torre III.
Thank you,
Maraming salamat din
General.
po, ma'am.
That is all the time we have for today, unfortunately. But thanks so much for joining StoryCon. I'm Ipo Mintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay, and of course, don't forget, tomorrow is the continuation of the confirmation of charges hearing of Rodrigo Duterte. Stay tuned. We'll be covering that throughout. Kapatid, we are One News, all sides, all the time. Thanks for watching.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.